Yes. So we haven't done our threat management staff meeting in a while, but I'm glad we're doing it today. And Lindsay, you got the first couple items.
I do. So, and I'm actually wrong. I'm going to update it as I type. It's actually our fourth community contributor. There was one that slipped through, and I think someone from the secure team helped. But we did get another community contributor MR merge last month. So Alexander assisted with that. And I know everyone's probably aware that Tiago is scheduling office hours to try and encourage more community contributions. Encourage everyone to share it on their social media and their friends. And that was that one. I actually put these up as announcements, so I shouldn't go to that. I should just go straight to the agenda. So you guys can read those top ones, and I'm going to jump right down to the agenda. My bad. And I think this is new to this format. You
can read the announcements too.
We can go through them.
Maybe we can save. We can save Alexander's for when he's back.
I'll abbreviate. Yeah, I'll abbreviate. Yay, Alexander. Zendesk access. This came up through some production defects or some production reports that we've had recently, and it was been kind of a struggle to get all of the information from the customer reported ticket. It is very easy to sign up for read-only access to Zendesk. I've already gone through it. I'm encouraging everyone else to do it so that you can reference, directly what the customer says there. You won't be able to ask them questions there, though. You'll still need to go through a support representative to do that. So. Team retrospective, I put a survey out in Slack a little bit ago asking if folks wanted to maybe split the retrospective between the groups, and because of some great conversation that came out of that between Arthur and Tiago and myself and some other people, we've decided to keep it together for right now. We want to make sure that Zamir and Arthur get the benefit of having a bigger team and the conversations that come from that, and that we get the benefit from Zamir and Arthur's thoughtful, introspective feedback on ways that we can improve things. So keeping that as is. I did want to share what the retrospective action item is for 13.2. I think historically we haven't done a great job of making sure that the team is aware of this. I'll also make sure we put it into Slack, but as a result of some of the feedback that we got in the 13.2 retrospective, we're focusing on this item of finding proposals to improve the code review process. So as a group, if we can gather together at least one solid proposal, we're not saying it has to be merged or anything, for ways to address some of the frustrations that people have expressed in the last couple of retrospectives. And I get that that's a little bit of a cop-out because we don't know what those improvements are right now. We just know that there's frustration. So, we encourage everyone to submit proposals, but as a group, let's just make it a goal to at least have one. I'm just going to keep talking. Planning breakdown. Before I do that, Zamir, Jonathan, Arthur, anything? Questions, feedback, thoughts?
I'm good.
Concerns? Okay.
I'm good as well.
Okay. Planning breakdown. I think I had we've already talked about this. This is just a reminder. It should probably go up in the announcements. Just remember, going into planning breakdown, take a look at the issues in advance as a way to sort of a forcing function or a holding accountability. We've asked people to indicate that they've taken a look at things in advance by putting an emoji, a carrot emoji specifically, because we thought it wouldn't get confused with other things. But this is also to encourage you to ask your questions in the issue. While it's good to have discussion in our planning breakdown meetings and our group meetings, it's better to have it in the artifact so other people can reference it.
Good stuff.
That's it.
So Q3 OKRs and Q2 OKRs. So Q2 just ended. I'm going to click on the Q2 OKR one. So which are in the notes, not share screen. So we did really well in Q2. We didn't achieve everything 100% we were expecting to, but we did quite a few, and that's actually kind of the point of OKRs. They should be somewhat aspirational. So really quickly, the team completed iteration training, 100%. We improved the code review process. We put in a couple MRs to improve the code review process. We started the process to add a database maintainer on the threat management team. We delivered all planning priorities on time. We actually didn't have any. That's because, not because there shouldn't be any, but because product management didn't have any for us. So we're going to stop tracking that one. That's been historically not a good metric for us, but I think it is for other teams. And so on the other ones, we got our team MR rate to, we wanted to get it to greater than or equal to 10, and we got it to 7 and 7.4, which is really good because we started out much lower than that. And we're breaking things up further into smaller pieces. We're trying to get a better mix of big things and smaller things, which is good. So that's definitely gone in the right direction. We also noticed is the way this was tracked. It was a team rate when we looked at how we are compared to other teams, just to do a comparison. And other team, the way the metric was computed is for all teams, it was work done by GitLab team members and by the community. And we have currently very few community contributions. That actually made the number higher for other teams than us. This quarter, we're actually splitting those out, community contributions from GitLab team member contributions. And when you compare it that way, us to other teams, just to see like where we are compared to others, we're actually, others are a little bit higher than us. I think they're at 8 or like a little bit more. Like, so we want to raise it a bit from where we're at, but I think we're in pretty good shape.
And to add, it's also been brought to our attention, and I think some folks are aware and some weren't, that managers count as part of that team size. So both, so Wayne, Tiago, and myself are all part of that MR8, and we're going to make sure that we're pulling a bit more of our weight. I can't promise that I'm going to get to 10 a month, but it's better than like 1. So I think that'll help as well.
Yeah, we have something for, good point for Q3 on that. The other two, we work to dog food all the threat management features. And it was very successful, but we didn't do it for everything completely. Why it was really successful is we got it live on one thing, the threat management stuff that, or threat insight stuff, that Lindsay and Jonathan and others work on, and got great feedback on it. We also tried to dog food all the defend features inside GitLab, and one of them is being used. The others, we learned quite a bit about them, which was great. That's the point of dog fooding. So it's not, some of them are not ready yet, and we're not surprised, but we learned quite a bit. And lastly, implementing North Star metrics. We're calling that one for all threat management features. We're calling that about 75% complete. It's in good shape. We got all the different things tracked. We got working. Not everything's working the way we expected with collecting all the metrics we want, but we got most of them in there, which is great. So, if we got 100% on everything, I'd say we would have sandbagged our goals, right? You want to reach a little bit more. So I think I think we did a great job. Any questions or comments, Jonathan or Samir or Lindsay?
I just want to say that sometimes we have some, let's say, demos and research tasks that they are going to lower the MR rate naturally. But that's something that in the future, especially if we have like more people, then that's going to get diluted.
Yeah, absolutely. Vacation time, working on spike work, like researching new technologies. Sometimes somebody will work on something for 3 weeks because it's really, really complex and hard, and you can't break it up further. That's going to happen. And sometimes somebody will find, 14 little bugs to fix that all end up being separate MRs and be able to fix them in 2 weeks, right? It should all average out in the end. So in terms of so Q3 just started. I'm going to click on the link for Q3 here. We're going to have the DRIs do it, but Tiago couldn't make it today. So we've got kind of some similar things. One, and for ones, Lindsay, that are yours, I'll let you cover, and then for mine and Tiago's, I'll just quickly discuss them. So we're doing more dog fooding. This one actually goes all the way up to Christopher and Eric, my boss and my boss's boss. This is around the secure features for secure and defend. So that means all the different security scanners and the dashboards, and basically standalone vulnerabilities, yay, and approvals, turning on security approvals. So some of our code is in the primary GitLab product. That is not in scope. So most of Threat Insights, for example, standalone vulnerabilities are not going to be in scope for this. They are going to be eventually, but if we turn that on for that, it would turn it on for the entire product. We're not ready for that. So it's things that are separate. Like a lot of the secure scanners are separate projects. So the scanners themselves are going to be scanned, and the defend features. We want to make sure we're scanning them. Tiago and I have not gotten started on this. Todd's team has, which is great because we're going to follow their lead a little bit based on what they find. But we're going to get a good start to that. And then Lindsay, you have the next two.
Great. So these are entirely front-end focused, and they do roll up both to a PM level KR and an engineering Christopher's KR. And this is about supporting the migration to the newer GitLab design framework that they call Pajamas. So one of the efforts is around making sure that the new features that we develop use those components. And the second is around specifically the HAML part of that migration. There's another effort specific to the view migration to Pajamas, which I think will enable one of the later KRs around, some low hanging fruit for people like, for people like me, for managers, easy wins that we just described earlier. So we can still contribute to that, but we're not tracking it as one of our KRs. So that's the performance improvement. So that's getting this as fast as GitHub by using faster components and aligning everything across. From a user experience, it also has the benefit of aligning everything across the product. So I'll keep talking. Going into expand the capabilities, this objective. The top action to improve our throughput metrics is around raising the monthly MR rate. And I think we've already talked about this. So both Tiago and I will be DRIs for that. And Wayne, I'll let you take it back over.
Yeah, and then the one that Lindsay mentioned earlier is, the people managers or leaders are included in the metrics. So we want, we're not going to be spending as much time coding as people are doing that, as their primary job. But it doesn't mean we should be doing zero. So Lindsay and Tiago and I have been doing some, but we want to do more. That one, because we want to be, keep our skills sharp and be contributing directly to the product, and some because it's part of the overall goal that everybody contributes. So we're going to be working on, Lindsay and Tiago and I, doing greater than or equal to 2 contributions to the product per month each, which are going to be good. Now, some of them will be documentation changes. That counts. Handbook changes do not. Documentation changes do. So like some of the ones that Lindsay already mentioned with Pajamas, that'll count. And hey, Sam. And some of the ones, documentation changes that I'm planning to do, I've already done a couple in some animated GIFs on how to navigate like through the standalone vulnerabilities functionality, for example. And Tiago's planning some as well. And I'll cover the last one and then turn it back over to Lindsay. So last one is holding at least one threat management community office hours every 6 weeks. So this is where we're going. Yeah, good point. You painted, Sam.
No, sorry, I couldn't help.
And you didn't paint them green, so you can have a built-in green screen.
I know.
That would be really ugly if you had. It looks nice.
Well, thank you.
We want to get more community contributions. As Lindsay mentioned earlier, we have I think we got our 4th, which is great since the founding of the team. And talking to Ray, Paik, and others on the community team, this is a good way to do it. So Tiago is going to be running with organizing that, where we just invite them to join and troubleshoot things. Alexander's already been doing this kind of informally a bit, and those have been actually uploaded to YouTube, and it's been great. Basically, walking community contributors, being kind of a coach to them on getting their changes through. So good stuff there. And then the last one, Lindsay?
Yep, and the last is around continuing to iterate on how we iterate. So everyone knows that every month Sid holds an iteration office hours where you can bring topics that he will, either things that you're looking forward to down the road or things that have already happened. I've definitely seen some examples of like, how could we have done this better? So we want to encourage the team to bring at least 2 items a month. Wait, is it 2 items a month? Wayne? No, that's 2 items over the course of the quarter.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the meeting's monthly, and it's not a good.
Exactly.
And it's not a good. I don't know if the time changes, but it's a good time for Europe. It's not a good time for APAC.
And of course, people add things to the agenda who can't be there to discuss it. There's always a value to that. And if somebody has an idea and they're not able to attend, please reach out to someone in the team, because somebody else would be happy to go and speak to it. And my experience from attending have all been pretty positive. I've seen some really good ideas come out of it. But by doing this, we think we can, just learn more from Sid and from other folks within the company and continue to address some of the challenges that we've had with breaking things down or not breaking things down based on what the question is.
Yeah, I think Marin's co-hosting those now too. That's great. He does a great job of giving advice and thoughts. So any thoughts or questions or comments on the Q3? Okay. Nope. Okay, and Lindsay, you got the last item?
Last agenda item is just a reminder, and I've not actually seen a lot of action around this from this team, and I just want to encourage you all to nominate your peers, whether it be peers within threat management, peers within secure, other parts of GitLab. It's not just managers and PMs that give the discretionary bonus nominations out. So, please think about times when people have gone above beyond and recognize them.
Good stuff. That's everything we had on the agenda. Anything else we want to discuss? All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. And have a great Friends and Family Day on Friday.
Happy Friends and Family Day. Yay.
Cheers.